Did you call bank? I call game.
This video is sponsored by 90s Classic Shop. Actually, I got this shirt from that site, and if you want to get cool shirts like this one for any size in 5 different colors, you can check it out in the link in the description. If you use my promo code PACK20, you'll get 20% off, and this is gonna work for the next 24 hours, so get on it, you guys. What is up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here, and no, Gary Harris is not in this video, but that leads me into my introduction about this. Okay, I'm talking about the 5 most overrated players according to NBA 2K18, players that have really high ratings, but their stats and personal opinion don't align with that number. Now, again, reminding you, this is an opinion. Yes, I'm gonna throw in stats. Yes, I'm gonna give, but I've shown you that I've been wrong before, right? So take this with a grain of salt. This is what I personally think. Remember, I said Gary Harris was bad, and then Gary Harris had his best season ever. So, yeah. And I'm gonna start this list off at number 5 with Jonas Valanciunas. Okay, so Jonas Valanciunas, but he's only averaging 13 points per game, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, that's nothing, and 1 block a game on pretty good field goal percentage, like pretty good. So that's already pretty low numbers for an 82 overall, points per game wise at least. And also he's only getting a block a game, and he's getting like no assists, right? That's not very good. If I were to compare him to Nikola Vucevic or Vujicic, he's an 81 overall, 1 overall lower than Jonas Valanciunas. But look at his stats: 17 points per game, 9 rebounds just like Valanciunas, and more assists, 3 a game. Also has a block a game, and he isn't the worst defender ever, and he's 1 overall under Valanciunas. So what I believe is that because of that, just by that alone, Jonas Valanciunas should have 1 rating overall under from Vucevic, making Jonas Valanciunas an 80 overall. That's what I believe for Jonas. The next one at number 4, it is Paul George. I know a lot of you are about to get mad at me for this one. Okay, so let's explain, right? He's an 89 overall, almost a 90 overall. I believe Paul George is one of the best two-way players in the NBA. This guy's an amazing defender, actually one of the best defenders last season, and he can score. Like, he's always been a good scorer. 22 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and okay field goal percentage of 43%. Okay, so these are all-star numbers, no question about it, right? This is my problem. Let's compare him to Jimmy Butler, who's also an 89 overall, right? Also 22 points. He's getting 1 rebound less with 5 rebounds a game, but the assists, Jimmy Butler's getting 5 assists a game. Paul George is only getting 3. Jimmy Butler also gets 2 steals a game. Jimmy Butler's field goal percentage is better than Paul George's. So with that said, you could argue that Jimmy Butler is better than Paul George just by stats alone. And don't even make that argument of like, oh, but Paul George has a better team, so because of that, he's getting less stats. That's not true at all. Paul George has Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony. Jimmy Butler has Karl-Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and Jeff Teague, who can score too. So you have 3 scorers on that team, while the OKC only really had 2. I feel like they're pretty even in terms of talent on their team, and yet Jimmy Butler did better slightly. So I think Paul George should be 1 overall under Jimmy Butler. I know a lot of you might disagree. I think Paul George should be an 88. Up next at number 3, I'm picking on Raptors fans. I'm sorry. Kyle Lowry, okay? 85 overall Kyle Lowry. 16 points per game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal. And a field goal percentage of 42% or 43%, which again isn't the most amazing field goal percentage, but it's good enough. Here's the thing. Kyle Lowry, first of all, does not do good in the playoffs. He just doesn't, and that's been consistent every single season. I've seen it. He's not good in the playoffs, right? He's an 85 overall with those stats. The assists and rebounds are really good for a guard, and we know he's a good defender. But his those points per game are not equal to 85 overall. That's first off. Second, let's compare him to another 85 overall in the NBA. Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday is an 85 overall, 19 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 49% field goal percentage. That is clear cut, and he's really good in the playoffs. And he's an amazing defender. That is clear cut, no even debate. Jrue Holiday is better than Kyle Lowry, period. Like, period. And yet, they're the same overall. That can't be true. Either Jrue Holiday is underrated or Kyle Lowry is overrated. I believe Kyle Lowry should be an 84, maybe even an 83 compared to Jrue Holiday. So this one's going to be controversial, and I know a lot of Warriors fans are going to lose their mind, and a lot of Lakers fans are going to fall in love with me right now. Draymond Green at number 2. second most overrated player in 2K. 87 overall. So I understand that because Draymond team's team is amazing, you're like, Pack, don't even talk about stats with him because his team is so packed he can't get amazing stats. And not only that, Patrick, but stats aren't everything. 100% agree with you. Like, no, 1000% agree with you. However, Draymond Green has 11 points per game, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, steal a block, and 45% field goal percentage. You're like, wow, you know what? That reminds me of a specific player that has the exact same stats. Oh yeah, Lonzo. 10 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, a block, and awful field goal percentage. So, and he's a 79 overall, guys. And he had a bad team and he was somehow still able to get 7 assists a game. Put it that way. Of course, Draymond Green's gonna get like 7 assists a game. He can pass to anyone, they're gonna score. Lonzo had to actually find a way to get these guys to score the basketball. So, and yes, I know his field goal percentage is garbage, but Draymond Green's field goal percentage isn't the most amazing in the world either. Let's calm down. So Draymond Green's stats tie a player who was a rookie last season? Oh no, but Draymond Green should be 8 overall higher than Lonzo? That's a little ridiculous. Again, you can make the argument, well, maybe Lonzo should be bumped up. I'm going to say Draymond Green should be going down to like an 85 overall. 84 is a little low because I am agreeing Draymond Green is one of the best defenders in the NBA, and this dude's just, I guess, like presence and work ethic is like undeniable, but that rating's too high. You can argue all you want, he should be an 85 overall. And finally, at number 1, I've talked about this way too much, Jason Tatum. I'm going to give it to you plain as day. And I'm going to remove your argument of, well, in the playoffs, he did amazing. I understand he did amazing in the playoffs. But the regular season counts too. It does, right? Jason Tatum for the season averaged 14 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 48% field goal percentage. Really good numbers, especially for a rookie. That's honestly really solid. That's not an 87 overall. Now, I don't even have to go that far to compare to another player. Al Horford. 86 overall, has 13 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, a block, and 49% field goal percentage. Those numbers are just slightly better than Jason Tatum's. Like just slightly, right? And he's lower overall than Jason Tatum. But I don't even have to, you might be like, oh, well, I don't agree with that. Of course, Jason Tatum's better than Al Horford. Fine. But Jaylen Brown's at 84 overall, and Jaylen Brown was averaging 15 a game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 47% field goal percentage. Almost the exact same numbers as Jason Tatum. And he's 3 overall under Jason Tatum. So that means that Jason Tatum should be an 84 to an 85 overall. That's what I believe. That's what the numbers say. That's what it looks like. I agree that Jason Tatum's going to end up being amazing in the NBA soon, but he's an 85 right now, I think. But that is my list. I know you hate me, but I had to make this video, guys. I wanted to make it. What do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like my channel, give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.
Did you call bank?